Let's take a look at how levers can be used to measure the non-cognitive factors that are related to academic performance. This is based on a literature review done at the University of Chicago on the role of non-cognitive factors in shaping school performance. That study identified 5 categories of non-cognitive factors, including academic behaviors, academic perseverance, academic mindsets, learning strategies, and social skills. But it's important to know that the non-cognitive part of this only applies to the fact that these are not measured directly by cognitive tests. Instead, in order to affect a learning academic performance, we have to make sure that students are engaging their cognitive processes. And in fact, that's what LEVERS has been designed to do. So when we look at academic behaviors, we're looking at things like going to class, doing homework, organizing materials, participating in studying. And there is strong evidence that these behaviors are malleable, they can be shaped, and they are affected by the context in the classroom. There are clear strategies that talk about monitoring and support. And in this sense, LEVERS works like a GPS to guide both the student and the teacher on what needs to be improved, the progress that's being made, and how we might need to adjust. When we shift to academic perseverance, we mean grit, tenacity, delayed gratification, discipline, self-control. And really this boils down to the fact that student effort and the resulting quality can increase. By quality, we're talking about the intensity, direction, and duration of that student's actions. And there are 2 distinct pathways that emerge, both supporting the positive academic mindsets and helping students to develop effective learning strategies. LEVERS provides evidence of growth over time as far as how these strategies are working. Academic mindsets are the belief, attitudes, or ways of perceiving oneself in relation to the work that you do. 3 out of 4 of these are specific to a context. The idea that I belong in this academic community, that I can succeed at what I'm trying to do, or that this work has value for me. And the 4th, my ability and competence grow with my effort, is either reinforced or refuted by the context that the student is working in. LEVERS provides evidence that the contexts for growth are actually moving the student closer to their goals. Learning strategies have several related processes of metacognition, thinking about thinking, self-regulated learning, time management, goal setting. And together these form learner-directed strategies, processes, and study skills which directly contribute to academic performance. LEVERS applies these learning strategies across all projects. And in the social skills, the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, CASEL, lists 5 social emotional learning core competencies. These are self-management, self-awareness, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. These social skills are important because they prepare students for future work and how to interact in the real world. But the social skills are less utilized in the way classrooms are usually structured. There is the independent tasks and assignments that determine a student's individual grade. In LEVERS, we use peer review to develop and apply these social skills. Regardless of how the classrooms are structured, the projects are structured in teams. So the opportunity to develop these key skills is enhanced in LEVERS. So the conclusions are that the shift to making high school and college completion a national educational goal means we have to shift our policy and practice. We have to shift away from an exclusive focus on test scores and broaden that focus to a new emphasis on developing the cognitive and non-cognitive factors that lead students to earn high course grades. To make this shift, we have to make sure that educators understand how to help students develop as learners in their classes. And LEVERS is consistent with these practices as recommended in the literature review. So let's take an example of how this can play out in real life, the NextStep Plan. The NextStep Plan is a personal written plan that's developed by each student at the ends of grade 8 to 11 and during their senior year in grade 12 in New Mexico, in law. The purpose of the plan is to target the students' post-secondary interests, set forth the studies that they'll complete during high school in order to be on track, and each student reviews this every year. For grades 8 to 11, it's called an interim NSP or Next Step Plan, and by grade 12, it is called a final. So when we look at the data sources and how these factors play in, the student information system gives us some of the information that we need, but the LEVERS research project is going to have students applying the learning strategies of study skills, metacognitive strategies, self-regulated learning, time management, and goal setting. That's how they will investigate and then be able to complete the information on the form here on page 1. On page 2, the student information system is the source. It's going to reveal the academic behaviors that resulted, whether they went to class, did homework, organized their materials, participated, or studied. The LEVERS research project is where they're going to be able to apply their academic mindsets about belonging in the academic community, the ability and competence growing with effort, being able to succeed, and the fact that this work has value for me because it is connecting the efforts with real life. And on the final page, over time, the LEVERS research project will allow them to see the results of academic perseverance, grit, tenacity, delayed gratification, self-discipline, and self-control. So that's how we're applying the research review within LEVERS. Here is the citation of this wonderful work and the link at the bottom. Thank you very much.